Hello and welcome to Love Island The Morning After, the only official Love Island podcast with me, Amy Hart.
And me, Indiyah Polack, and we are here to kickstart your morning with all the juicy gossip from last night. But we have the one and only Nadia Jae. She's back for another morning.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
And that's not all. We've got not one, but two Dumped Islanders with us today. Joining us fresh from the villa, we have Megan and Remell.
Good morning.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, we had a little bit of convo before, but we are dying to ask you some more questions. So, are you ready to give us all of the goss?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, Megan, let's start with you. So you coupled up with Tommy on day one. Did you fancy him from the start?
Yeah. Tommy was a bit of me, cheeky chappy. The minute he opened his mouth, I said, I'll have that. That does me that.
And you bonded over both being part Italian as
Yeah.
well.
Well, we probably do a DNA test because Maya was like at the start, I wonder if he's our cousins. And I was like, I hope no. I still don't know that now, actually. So check up on that.
Yeah. Initially, obviously, we saw you coupled up with Tommy. Was there anyone else that you had your eye on that maybe you wanted to get to know? Obviously, we saw things with Conor.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Other than Conor? No.
Fairs.
Yeah.
Obviously, this year, nobody seems to be saying they're closed off. We're on week 4. Nobody's had that chat yet. I swear this is the longest it's ever been. You and Tommy did seem quite closed off.
Yeah.
What changed?
We weren't closed off, basically. And me and Conor had been speaking since day one, but it never really got shown. So there was always that, like, what if with Conor there. And, yeah, it kind of just fizzled out on the night with the screen. Because obviously we've been chatting, he said to Emily, oh, he's been having chats with some of the girls, but now it's like more friendship vibes. And I said to the girls, that's me, friend zone, then that's the end of that. And then it just kind of fizzled out because obviously Emily was in the villa. And then that surprise chat came about and I was just like, may as well now.
I mean, I want to get into the juicy stuff. So then
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened, babe? You obviously seen that Connor's interested and there could have been a triangle. It all just went tits up, babe. What
Oh,
happened?
you're telling me, babe. Well, obviously I had that like argument with Tommy over what Harry had said. And you know when you see red and you're just like, there's no telling me, I was like gunning for like trouble there. Obviously when me and Tommy were arguing, I didn't expect it to escalate as much as it did, but then naturally Conor could swoop in. Like, I don't know if it was shown because I didn't really watch it properly, but he had a conversation with me and was like, I can kind of come in and like make you breakfast and show you what I want to do for you. So that's kind of what he did, and then that brought us closer. And then obviously where I hadn't been speaking to Tommy for like a couple of days, whenever we chatted, it was like picking up where the arguments had left off the day before, so it was never really getting resolved. And obviously you don't see the full thing of the argument, so they were long. So I think it played in Connor's hands a little bit.
do you feel like yourself personally that you were maybe subconsciously kind of just over the situation with Tommy and you just wanted to focus on Conor fully?
No. I think it was always between the two of them, but I think where I was like so wound up with what was going on with Tommy and like it was really upset me, and he was just like, I need an answer now, but I was like, I'm not ready to give an answer now. He did come to me with like an ultimatum, was like, I think you've got to know Conor for long enough, and I was like, but we haven't been speaking, so I'm not in a position where I can tally the two of you up right now. And that's kind of like why it ended, because he wanted him or nothing, which is fair.
I was a firm believer in you and Tommy, and
Yeah.
I believed, and I told everyone that you were going to get back together and get through to the end. Do you think that would have happened?
I don't know, because obviously time wasn't of the essence with us, but it's not that I didn't fancy Tommy. We didn't end things because I didn't like him. It was just I was getting to know someone else. We'd been arguing and it just went a bit sour, really.
I think his feelings were hurt, weren't
yeah,
they?
of course
Bless
they
him.
were. Do you know what I mean?
I
And
don't
it's not
think he
nice.
goes here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know when you think, when I look at him, I just think he really explained his feelings quite well.
He did.
But I feel like when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, I'm not used to this dynamic. Like, I'm not used to the girl being like, well, look, I'm doing my thing, so can you wait around? And I think he was blindsided by it all.
Yeah.
So I think he got in his feelings. And I do think, though, in your defense, that him asking you to choose then and there,
Yeah.
whilst you guys were arguing and whilst you hadn't known Conor that long, was a bit unfair. But I heard that you guys have patched it up now, right?
Yeah, no, we're on good terms. Like, obviously, if I had been in there longer, we probably would have been on better terms. But we were friends by the end of it. Like, the day after the hideaway, Conor and Tommy were having, like, a sing-off for My Hand in Marriage. Yeah. It's really funny because Tommy, like, obviously, like, my favourite songs, and he was, like, giving us... He was singing a bit of Grease. You would like that, Amy. So, like, it was all well and good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But who's to say what would have happened?
Talking of questions of being asked of you, Conor asking you, will you wait for me? While he's staying in the villa.
Yeah, obviously he was in a really emotional state. The boy, he was crying, bless him. So I was like, don't make any emotional rash decisions. That didn't work for me the past couple of days, so let's not do it to you. And I was like, right, let's leave it. Like, I'll wait for you. Like, thinking maybe it will come in a couple of days, it'll hit him, but if he's in there cracking on, I can't be waiting on that. Do you know what I mean?
Do you reckon it's just like romance talk? Like when you guys are in there, the sun's shining, everyone's skin's glistening. It's just like, oh, wait for you. Do you know what I mean? It feels a little bit romantic for no reason, but I get it though.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
get it. I'm not in the villa, so I get it. I get
I
it.
don't know, it was weird because like obviously he was really upset, and then I watched the episode after and he was like in the toilet and all crying on his own. I was like, this boy is like heartbroken. So I was like thinking, like,
You
something's
did all
gonna
right,
happen.
baby. You made 2 boys cry. Like, you did all right, you know.
You got some sorrows on me.
Being with like what Conor said to you, obviously we've watched him crack on. He had a really nice conversation with bombshell Billy Kiss. How does that now make you feel? If things are to work out with Billy Kiss or not, would you still be open to getting to know Conor?
If Conor was to come out or like get to know someone and have a good connection there, I'd be done. I'm like, if you didn't want to live with me, like, not that I expect him to leave with me, but if you could find that with someone else and you were crying over me, then why were you crying over me in the first place?
Yeah.
Would you ever left for him?
Oh, good question.
That's a good question, Melly. I think in this,
I don't want to answer. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Melly. But I think we only had like a couple of days together. I think anyone would have been stupid to leave at that, like properly together. I think if I had been with him since the start, yeah.
That's fair.
I feel like the sleepover just completely threw me because I was adamant that you were going to bring back Poppy and you just didn't. So what was going on in your mind, Remell? Like, we need to take us there, take us
Let
back.
me take you there, yeah. So the night before I went, obviously I get the text and I read it and I'm gassed, I'm buzzing. I might meet someone new. It's normal, right? Me and Alima never set the boundaries in terms of what we shouldn't and can't do and whatever. Okay, cool. Last thing she said to me, Remell, have fun, be yourself, be present, and do what you want. Forget about me. So in my head, that's the green light. Actually explore naturally in your own way. And I went to the villa and that's what I did.
When a girl says that,
I was
you
just
never
about to
forget
say,
about her.
you said that
Yeah.
out loud again and I'm listening and it gives,
test.
you know when like a girl says to you, oh, don't worry, I'm fine.
Yeah.
She's not fine.
No.
But women, we need to
Mentally,
learn better.
we need
Like,
to be
boys
more
are so
transparent.
That's
black
true.
and white.
And direct, yeah.
We live in the grey area. So if she's saying,
Yeah.
forget about me, and you do it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's
That's
like
her
when someone
fault.
says, oh, do your thing. Don't
Don't do your
You know what it
thing.
is,
don't
though?
threaten me with a good time.
Before I come into the villa, one of my things was I was looking for a woman that could communicate, really let me know the deal on how she wants things to play out. And the same conversation I had with Alima after the challenge. I said, you need to tell me what you think is our limits and stuff, otherwise we're not going to get far.
Yeah.
Because I know myself, but you tell me what you're like. But she said, I'm not really good at communicating, that's why I need your help. But I said, if you can't tell me what you want, something's going to happen that you're not going to like.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, we did see you get along really well with Lima. You guys shared kisses in bed, and it looked like it was, getting somewhere. It was quite, solid.
I feel like you were quite patient.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I felt like I was. And I felt like it was even stronger than what was shown, if I'm being honest.
They were really
Go on,
strong.
tell
They were,
us
like,
more.
powerful.
What were they
Yeah.
doing?
I was going to say, so like, obviously when you first came in, you went
Yeah.
straight for Alima. Was there anyone else?
She was my top 3. Like, she was at the top. Shakira as well. And, I just felt like I had to apply that pressure on Alima because that was like that vibe I got from her. Like, she's like all or nothing. So at that point in time, it was like, what, I'm feeling you a lot. Let me just put all my eggs in one basket. But I did have a conversation with every single girl after just to make sure I wasn't missing out on anything.
I think
And how is that balancing act? Because I feel like it's almost impossible for you guys to be with somebody and then be like, 1 sec, I'm just going to go and have a chat with the other person, and the other person's not stewing in the corner.
It's
like,
so weird. That was the hardest part because like you can feel the eyes and you're being watched at all times, and it's just like, how do you juggle 2 boys? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, without hurting the other one. Like, I know from experience, really. But it's so weird, like, because you can feel everyone watching you.
that does-
Everyone's talking about it as well.
I think for me, it's slightly different where I just put myself in perspective. It's Love Island. It's different to real
Yeah.
life, right? And
Yeah.
we're single, we're open. Really and truly, you shouldn't be getting hurt like that. But again, everyone's different, and that's what
It's
I
hard
like.
though because you can say it's Love Island, like it's not the outside. This is the experience that you're here to do as much as you want, but it doesn't mean it's any easier. do you know what I mean?
Agreed. Because actually, if you did choose Poppy,
Yeah.
Alima would be sat here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that could have made you quite the villain. For reasons beyond your control.
Yeah, either way, I felt like that was going to happen more so because of how I sent it with Poppy. But again, it was very natural to me at the time.
Yeah.
And that was my way of, you know what, imagine being in Poppy's shoes. You're only there potentially for 2 days
Yeah.
or you don't know. From my side, I just felt like I had to give it that time. And that was my way of giving that time.
Do you genuinely think that your connection with Alima was better than your initial connection with Poppy? Or was it like, I'm not saying safe option, I'm
Yeah.
saying the sort of comfy,
Yeah.
like you're like, yes, this is really fun, we're having this great sleepover, but I know I've got Alima back and she's like my comfort.
Yeah, other way around, actually. I would say that if I was playing it safe, I would have recoupled up with Poppy. But the reality was my heart, again, which was coming out more when I was talking to Alima, she was turning me to like a lover boy. My heart said I have to come back to that girl despite what I did. And it got to a point when I fully got back, I was ready to apologize. But when she kind of like was super, super mad at me, feelings and emotions were so high, I didn't really get to communicate that to her. And then the next day, I didn't feel the same anymore. Because she told me she would never walk away from me in a conversation. And that's really important communication. And she done it again, so my heart was kind of like, and my head is like, yo, I can't keep doing this.
I won't lie, I'm really impressed with the boys, two. I'm really impressed with two of the boys and the way they're communicating their feelings. Like in some respects, I have looked and been like, oh, girls, all a bit hot-headed, or maybe we should have done this. And so I actually think it's important if you are going to be upset with a boy or vice versa, you take a moment out, and then you gather yourself, because it does. I've seen like even Dee look at Meg in a different way based on the way she's reacted to something. And I think it's actually really important, because those are the things you look for in relationships.
It seems this year more than ever, everyone seems to really just be cutting it off. They're like, no, done. And it's like, guys, like, there's not a revolving door of people. Like, this is your sort of pool to date from, which people sort of have been. Tommy and Emily, and now Alima and Ben. What do you think of these couples?
Alima and Ben had a thing for a bit that wasn't shown.
Remell, when you were speaking to Alima, was this happening as well? Was she also getting to know Ben?
No, not necessarily that, but I asked her what was her type, and she described Ben. So I kind of knew from before that, if your type isn't someone that looks like me, there's something there. She told me that after the challenge in terms of beer pong, right? Or whatever that was called, one of the secrets that she wanted to say, she wanted to whisper it in Ben's ear. So I already knew from days she was kind of plotting low key, and I see it now. But again, we've been single and open. I can't feel a type of way about it.
Because obviously, judging by Alima's relationship with you, she seems like she does have a pretty good judge of character. So I think we were all quite like taken aback, because Alima, she comes across quite, like straightforward and strict, and she wouldn't stand for any kind of like BS. So I'm intrigued to see how things are going to go with Ben. But is she maybe going to be that person to bring out a different side to Ben? Because they were so jolly last night. I was like, okay,
He
what is
seems
happening?
safe around her.
He's comfortable around her. It's like, you wouldn't expect it, but like if anyone's going to put Ben in his place, it's Alima.
It's gonna be
Alima.
It's Alima.
Because I think she can do it in a really classy way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, in a way, because, I
She
think
doesn't
they could
lose
work.
her head.
No.
Like, she does it in a cool, calm, collected way.
Yeah.
Remell, what do you want to say?
I disagree
Lip
about
twist.
the common collectors, because really and truly, I didn't even get to talk to her when I first got back. She was so mad at me, she didn't let me talk. And then the second
But
conversation,
she
she
had
didn't let me
clocked
talk.
out the minute she knew, like when Helena told her at that fire pit that you'd been like kissing outside of challenges, and she was really shocked, she was done.
Yeah.
She clocked
No,
out,
but
she didn't want to hear it.
I completely understand that, but I think what is fair, not necessarily hearing that person's point to grow or get them back, but literally come to an understanding of why they messed up.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I knew I messed up once I come back, but I didn't get to communicate that to her because I couldn't talk.
Okay, with that being said, in hindsight, do you now think, looking back, do you think you've realised how much Alima probably really did like you, and that was maybe why she reacted the way she did?
Yeah.
And if you were given the opportunity, would you want to have that sit-down conversation with Alima and see if you lot could maybe pick things up again?
So the first question, I actually told her and the guys when I first got back, after her reaction, I didn't even understand that, she liked me like that. Because a lot of the conversations and things we were having, they were so, about just us, but not in that regard of feelings. Because she didn't really like to open up. So that told me so much. And by that point, I was kind of like torn in my heart. Because again, when I was doing what I was doing at the villa, that's typically what I do. So I didn't really understand her perspective until it was too late. Because I tapped out after a few things that she did that I didn't like either. So
I feel like it's mismatched love languages, to be
Yeah,
fair. Like, it
and a
feels
lot
like-
of heat in the moment, because it is a pressure cooker in that villa. Things happen so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is hard to have those deep conversations sometimes.
What about Tommy and Emily? Do you think that's right now, or do you think it's right?
right now, right?
I know, that's a good one. I think it could be right. I think as of circumstances, like they kind of got pushed into it, let's be real. Like, but I think they share a lot of the same morals and values, and they are like two absolute sweethearts. So I think there could be something blossoming there, but I think they have been pushed into it.
Yeah.
Tommy told me straight, originally he wasn't actually feeling Emily, but now, before I left, he said it could get somewhere. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Halfway into another season full of unreal Preloved, and forecasts predict that summer is about to get even hotter. So it's that time to cool off and debrief all things Villa fashion with eBay. The temperature's rising for Shakira and Harry as they layered on the Factor 50 with the chats, the flirts and the fits. She bought the vibes in a slay meshki dress, while he brought back the iconic pink Stussy jacket to turn heads, worn previously by All-Star Series 1's Tom. Could this be the start of something new? While emotions ran high, count on Harrison and Tony to bring back the sweetness at their strawberry picking date. Tony stunned in a rat and boa accessorised with a Prada crochet bag, while Harrison kept it fresh in his Percival Cuban shirt and Obey shorts. Another match made in Preloved. Looking to find your next summer love? Move on with Preloved and eBay, sponsors of Love Island. The heart rate challenge still rumbled on last night. The fallout, it keeps coming between Shakira, Harry and Helena. I feel like we're going to be having these conversations for the next 4 weeks. Basically, as always, Harry and Helena have been up to something and Shakira is the last one to know and she feels that everyone's laughing at her.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was the whispering during the heart rate challenge that we can't mention, but, go back and watch it if you don't know. Do we think Shakira was right to be upset?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Retweet. Like, yeah.
Helena's my mate, and I'm like, her and Harry have something. Like, you can see it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they always go back to each other no matter what. But there's all these games going on. I don't know why they don't just get on with it. Like, but she wasn't thinking about Shakira in that moment.
No.
Helena likes Harry more than she lets on. She is so, like, if she has a problem, if he's done her dirty, she's going to sit back and she's just going to laugh about it and act as if she doesn't care. When I can tell you, for real, she cares. Like, she likes that boy, and he's Harry.
Yeah.
I love him to
Do you
bits,
know
but he
what
does
it
his
is
thing.
with Harry reminds me of someone who's in a marriage and then has this ex-girlfriend that he sees that reminds him of younger him. But he doesn't want to dip. He wants to go back home, but he really wants to flirt in the supermarket with said ex-girlfriend.
Serious.
It's that kind of like, I want you because I'm not supposed to have you.
Yeah.
And the moment Shakira's out, because she really let it off, and I was
Yeah.
very proud of you. So I'm glad she done that, but I don't think it's now going to give Harry the go-ahead with Helena. I think like he's still kind of dancing around it because I think he likes it being forbidden.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
he
likes the
does
fun of it.
Yeah,
I
he
really
does.
do.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we think's going to happen now between Shakira and Harry? Because obviously she made that clear, but I think more than enough has happened now where she...
Yeah, Shakira's a
really
clever
wants
girl.
to-
Shakira is done.
She's
She
done.
knows her
I
worth.
believe that
She's
as well.
done.
Yeah. And do you
Yeah.
think this is maybe, it's up for Helena and Harry?
I think they're gonna get towards the end, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay.
Whilst I was at the other villa, Helena kept talking about Harry to the point I said, yo, focus on Gio. Like, my boy Gio's here and you're talking about Harry, so
Yeah, but I don't think Harry wants her the same. I think that's my only issue. I feel bad because I'm like, he only talks about Shakira. He likes Shakira and he knows he's not good enough for her. I think he knows like he's going to mess her around.
I think it's two different vibes as well.
Yeah, and I think he likes Helena. She keeps him on his toes, but not enough for him to go in it. I think once he gets it, he'll be like, oh, I'm bored now. I think he likes the grey area of them too, personally.
I feel like they should have gone in the hideaway in the afternoon, just got it over
But they've
with.
got every opportunity to, and he
Exactly.
doesn't want to do it. Because I just think some part of him's like, no, I like knowing that I can.
Shakira is the substance and
Yeah.
Helena is the fun and flirty. One thing I do just want to touch on, because we were really surprised when Megan told us the two girl groups actually get on quite well, don't you?
Yeah, well, I think in terms of, obviously, no, listen, in terms of like Harry, Shakira, Helena, like I get that. There's always going to be that like, but I can tell you for nothing, like we all sit together, like, do you know what I mean? We all like, naturally you gravitate towards certain girls and that's fine. Like it's like school, you're not going to be like sisters with everyone.
Yeah.
But in the dressing room, it's like, oh, you can wear this, you can wear that, that look lovely on you. Like there's no like weirdness. And I feel like when I came out, I was like, is there? But yeah, no, everyone gets on really well.
Yeah, and I think also we were saying earlier, I think, not that it's the boys' fault, but I think it comes across that the girls have arguments because you guys are usually always arguing or disagreeing about who's coupled up with who.
Yes.
And then that creates awkward
Yes,
tension.
that is literally all, because
makes
we
things
never
awkward.
argue about anything else. It's literally only about the boys, what the boys have done or who the boys have spoken to that night. It's never between the girls.
Thank you, Megan. Last night we did see two new bombshells come in. So we had Ryan and Billy Kiss. Now, Ryan picked Tony and Shakira. I mean, way to ruffle the feathers. I
know.
Two
Two
best friends.
besties.
And Billy Kiss picked Dejon and Connor. Do we think any of these have potential?
I'm sold on
Yeah.
Billy Kiss and Dejon.
Yeah.
I'm
at
glad you've
first-
said
Yeah,
that.
I'm sold.
Honestly, because at first I feel like Dejon's head is completely with Meg. He's been riding strong for a long while, but that date, yeah, I feel like Billy Kiss really took him out of his shell. But it wasn't overly sexual. I feel like she was ticking his boxes. She was, stroking his ego in a nice way, but not being too forward. So I do think that could be a little
He just likes a good. Do you know what I've noticed? He's always open.
Yeah.
and I feel like he's reading people. It's like I can see what's
Yeah,
going on. in
you
his
can
head.
see the clock's
And you're
turning.
thinking you're too much. You're giving too
Yeah.
much to me. I haven't had to do anything. And you have to remember, real men are hunter gatherers, isn't it?
Right.
And they want grafting women.
Yeah,
to an
yeah.
extent.
Yeah.
He's already got his mum egg.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's still looking.
And I feel like he still wants to feel like masculine while he's doing
Exactly.
it. Like, he
And
doesn't want someone to
honestly,
push him.
Billy
Billy
Kiss
Kiss has that feminine energy that he
Yes.
likes. And I think that's why he's so drawn to Meg, because Meg is like really the mother of the group. She'll like clean the kitchen, she'll restock the fridge, she'll like
Offer
do
him
other
eggs.
yeah,
Yeah.
make his eggs in the
last night,
morning.
do you want
She's
avocado,
doing
babe?
doing everything for everyone. And I
Yeah.
think he likes that she has that like quality about her. But Billy Kiss coming in with that like feminine energy, and where he's had like past bombshells come in and they're like, oh, you want me, I'll do this, I'll do that. He's not into that, he doesn't want any of that. So I think this is going to rock the boat a little bit.
Yeah.
So you think that if, you know, Billy Kiss was at the other villa with us, the sleepover villa, at this rate so far, you reckon...
That's a good question,
Well, potentially, because I do feel like she is confident, but she's not too pushy. And I feel like Caprice, like the wedding chat and everything, I feel like I could see in Dejon's head, it was like...
I agree with Indiyah, only because he's already thinking about it, risking it for a biscuit whilst we're in the main villa.
Yeah. It's like
We're in
he's
the main
bringing it
villa,
home.
and Meg literally looked and was like, that's a bit of him.
Yeah.
If
She
you're
knows.
someone's woman, you know when your man's
She
looking.
knows.
She knows.
She knows.
And
I-
Fez.
Oh, God.
The sleepover was a lot of pressure, and it was like,
Yeah.
you know, this
Laying on
person
thick.
is here to get to know you.
Yeah.
Like, you can sleep in a bed with them, you can snog
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
nobody can see you, it's fine, and then
Yeah.
you'll have to bring them back. Whereas with Billy Kiss, he can like have the little date, he can pull
And
over and
Meg's
chat.
also there.
And Meg's also there. It's like, oh, you know, she
not
wants
giving
to
a
get
fair,
to know
is it?
me.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
very,
yeah.
it's
It's
like,
open.
Yeah.
it's slow.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
obviously you
And-
didn't
yeah.
do it. So like, think about like, it's giving like we go over here to have an affair and then come back.
Yeah.
And there's a
Yeah.
guilt there. almost.
Yeah.
And there's no room for like, oh, what did happen? Because
Yeah.
they're actually just at the mini vibe there.
Yeah.
You can hear them as well.
And you don't know your dynamic with that person in the main villa. You only know
Yeah.
it in the other bit.
Also, when bombshells come in, you always expect them to pick for us at the next recoupling. Well, we did anyways.
Yeah,
It never
yeah.
really happened for us, all the twists and turns.
Yeah.
But I think in that way, he could probably be like, oh, let me see how this is going to go. And she picks me.
And it would be the girls next, right? Yeah, because the boys
yeah,
just
the
went.
boys just did
Yeah.
one, yeah.
I mean, to be
Oh,
honest,
my
we did
Meg.
also
My
see
Meg.
that. Meg.
No, she did like Conor as well. I don't know, but it
She
was,
did have a good
I was
combo.
sold.
No,
I
she
was
didn't.
sold.
No, she didn't. We don't need to hear that right now.
Yeah. They're
Oh,
both
Billy's
from
gonna
Dublin.
get these kisses. Sorry.
Hey.
Sorry.
Hey.
I do think as well, Dejon, as we've said, has played it by the book every time, like at the sleepover, didn't sleep in a bed, only kissed in challenges and stuff. So he's like, you know, well, if she's pulling me for chats, I have to be polite. We've always said he tries to be very polite, man. If she's pulling me for chats, I'm going to be polite and go.
Yeah.
And hey, you know what? It is a Love Island villa.
Yeah.
To be honest, he's only ever been coupled up with Meg since the
Yeah.
beginning. And he has had a fair few tests and he's passed.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like, it's not that he doesn't want to be with Meg, but maybe he wants to give something else another full go.
Megan, do you think there's anyone for Meg?
She's not giving anyone a chance. I think if anyone was to be for her, maybe Harrison, they got on well, but I don't know. I think she looks at him like a brother. I really don't think there's anyone else in there for her.
I feel like it's her fault though. From the day, you know, I met her and the vibe she gave to me and every other guy is like, I ain't interested. And when you do that to us guys, a lot of the time we don't want to be the second option. I don't think anyone does.
We also saw Billy Kiss go on a date with Conor. Now, they have a lot in common. They're both from Dublin. It was quite chatty. Do we think anything's going to come of that? Sorry, Meg.
Yeah.
Do we think?
I hope not.
She's
He was like literally he crying over me like the last
Yeah.
episode. I hope he's not cracking on, but he seems very happy about
He
it.
wiped
so-
them tears and
Yeah,
said,
he said moving on now. So I think I'll give it another episode or two before I decide how long I'm waiting. Because if it's, I'm not waiting forever. Do you know what I mean?
No,
If you want to crack on with Billy Kiss, and she's unreal to be fair. So fair play, Con.
Fair enough.
All is fair in love and war.
Yeah, I mean, he's heavy on personality, so if it clicks,
Yeah.
I think there's potential there. I'm going to be real. Straight, yeah.
But also sometimes I feel like you're away from home. If you see someone in there and you're like, oh my God, we went to the same school together. Oh my God, you're in my same
Yeah,
area.
it's like
Sometimes it's just the
familiar.
familiarity.
Yeah.
But I don't
Also-
know. They give me brother, sister
Yeah,
vibes.
brother
to be
sister
honest.
vibes. I think
I
there's a
like
lot
that.
more
Would
to
you like
that.
that?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Keep
There's
saying
a lot more
that.
sexual
Keep
chemistry with
manifesting
Dejon, I
that.
think.
We also had Ryan. Now, he dated Shakira first. Do we think that went well?
I think that couldn't have come at a better time for Shakira. She needed that.
Yeah.
I don't think she cares what he looks like, what
Agreed.
he does. She's like, yeah, you're coming on with me.
Yeah.
She could have been on a date with a tree and she would have been happy.
Yeah.
He's like, I just think she needed to get out of that villa.
I got a different perspective.
Oh.
From the day I walked into the villa, I knew that girl has had a lot of options.
Yeah,
So
she
if you're not
has.
applying enough pressure, she ain't interested because she knows she's got it. So she'll just wait for someone else to
no,
come. I don't think it was applying enough pressure.
Yeah, but with the situation with Harry now, she's done with him. Tony still wants Harrison, and then if Helena goes back to Harry and they rekindle whatever they've got going on, God knows.
The Love Island Rubik's
Yeah,
Cube.
No, but
literally.
I think I'm saying that with Shakira's character, I feel like she's heavy on not forcing stuff. So if she
Yeah.
don't click with
That's
Ryan, which I
true.
didn't really see, she ain't gonna force it, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So.
But it was just
That is
nice
true.
to get out
Yeah,
and
yeah.
date
Nice to let her
someone.
hair down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right though. I think she
needed it.
knows that like there'll be someone in there for
Yeah,
her.
she knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you
knows
think
how it
about Ryan's date with Tony?
I liked them two together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of a fresh air for her. Obviously, I don't think she knows where she stands with Harrison.
No,
so I
she
think
doesn't.
it would be nice for her to kind of get out of that situation. However, you and your best friend for the same guy,
Yeah, kind of weird.
that could maybe
It's Love
get a little
Island.
bit-
Yeah, I think she like definitely enjoyed the date, but I don't think he's for her. I think her heart's set on Harrison.
I
now.
think she'd eat him alive
agree.
as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
he'd
He seems
give
too
enough
sweet.
back.
She needs a bit of bite.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Town.
got their
She
ones
needs
and
them.
twos, like you were saying about not being second best. I just
Yeah.
feel like Harrison has got his one with Helena, and then Tony's the tube.
If Helena is number 1 for Harry and Harrison.
No, Helena's number 2 for Harry.
That's true.
Right.
Yes.
And everyone's 1s and 2s in, and we're just gonna wait and get to musical chairs and see who's left.
Right. And take a chair away.
What's going on?
Girl, you've been in there. You
I know,
tell us.
and I don't even know what's going on.
You guys are stressing us
Yeah,
out.
I'm
Because we are
stressed.
start of week 4? Like, this has never happened at start of week 4 and we don't even have one solid, I'm not closed off.
It's the weirdest series. It's been amazing. Every episode has been like a blockbuster movie. We've loved coming to work. We've loved chatting about it. But then we feel like we've already watched 3 series already.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the
Like,
love, guys?
But then nobody's in a couple. We're
Yeah.
like, right, okay, so what have we been watching? I'm really confused. And that is all we've got time for today. Thank you, Nadia, for joining us again. Will you come back tomorrow?
Oh, I'll check my diary, darling.
And thank you so much to Remell and Megan. We've loved
Appreciate
watching
you.
you. We've loved meeting you. And we wish you luck for everything you do.
Thank you.
And make sure that you catch the first look on YouTube and all Love Island socials.
And as ever, leave us a comment down below, or if you've got any opinions, questions, anything, the morning after at itv.com. And we'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.